Hello everyone and welcome back to the EL99 coursebook. In this video we're going to be continuing through Unit 1. This will be 1B, or the second part of the unit. We're going to be talking about switch off. I'm guessing this relates to devices and what we talked about in the previous video. And we're also going to be talking a little bit about the past simple. So let's dive right in with 1. Here we have, look at the list of electronic devices. Which items do you have and how often do you use them? Now, you guys know the drill. I would like you to pause the video for a little bit. Go over each item. Ask yourself, what items do you have and how often do you use each one? I think I'd probably say most of you have all of these, but so I'd like you to rank them on a scale of how often do you use a certain thing and what's the one thing that you use the least often. So for me personally, which items do you have? I pretty much have all of these: computer, phone, believe it or not, I also have a radio, tablet, television, and video games. How often do you use them? Uh, I use my computer a lot because I use it for both work, entertainment, studying, you name it. All of it is done on my computer, so I use my computer the most. A close second is actually my phone. Again, talk to people, whether that's work related. If I'm reading, I'm probably reading on my phone, social media, obviously. Um, if I'm using it for navigation purposes in the car or music, that works too. So, phone is a close second. Radio is my least used object or electronic device that I have. Um, I just don't see the need for it. I've had it for a long time and I don't use it anymore because anything that you can play on a radio, you can just play on your phone or computer. So it's definitely my least used item here. Tablet. I do have a tablet. I don't read on it often, but it's there. Sometimes, like when I want to read something and I don't want to use my phone because the screen is too small, I'll use a tablet. Television. Again, it's there, but I don't use it much because if I want to watch a show or something, I'll just use it on my setup, or watch on my setup instead. But I do watch stuff from time to time. And finally, video games. I have a console, I have an Xbox, so I play on that quite often, I'd say. Like, yeah, a few hours every couple of days. It's quite fun. So that's how often I use each of these. Let's go to exercise 2. Read the article. Do you think the students enjoyed the experiment? Give reasons for your answers. So, what I'd like you to do is pause the video and just take a look at the heading here. It says, can you switch off for 24 hours? I would like you to think about what they mean by that and try to guess what is going on based on the pictures. Okay, so I'm going to assume you did that. You paused the video and stuff. Now I'd like you to read this article. It's quite short. I'm actually going to do it with you here, and then we'll go over some of the questions together. These days, people use electronic devices more than ever. In particular, young people spend a lot of time on their phones and computers. But what happens when they switch everything off? In an experiment, we asked students from 10 countries around the world to spend 24 hours without any electronic devices. Okay, so it's more like a couple of sentences slash paragraph as opposed to like a full on article. But we'll talk more about this in a second. Let's see. Do you think the students enjoyed the experiment? Based on first thought, I'd say some of them did, some of them didn't, as with everything when it comes to experiments. You'll have some people that know how to spend that extra free time and some people that are addicted or don't know what to do with all that extra free time. Okay, so that was my answer. I hope yours was similar or different. That doesn't matter. So let's go to the next page. Let's see what we have here. Looks like we're going to be listening. So listen to four. Actually, let me let it load for a second. Listen to 4 students talk about the experiment. So 4 students did the experiment. Choose the correct answer for each speaker and give a reason. So I'm going to play this once first, and I don't want you to take notes. I just want you to listen and compare this to the answers that you had based on the article in the previous page. Okay? So let me play that once first. Here we go.
Dan Ying.
I don't have a TV and I don't play video games, but I use my phone a lot. Yesterday, I didn't have my phone and I couldn't send texts to my friends, so I felt very lonely.
Marwan. I usually listen to music, text my friends, and read the news at the same time. But yesterday, I went outside and I walked for 2 hours. My head felt very clear. Erica.
I love the internet and I spend hours on it every day. During this experiment, I didn't know what to do. I didn't leave the house. I just stayed in the kitchen and made cups of tea. I wasn't happy because it was really boring.
Brandon.
I live with my friends, but we don't talk very much. Everyone just watches TV. But yesterday, we chatted and laughed all day. It was one of the best days of the year.
Okay, so that was the audio. I feel like I had a similar answer. I don't know about you. Maybe you had a different answer and a different reason. Now, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to play it again. And this time, I'd like you to listen to each speaker, highlight if they enjoyed the experiment or didn't enjoy it, and give a reason. It doesn't have to be long, but it does have to be accurate relating to the audio. Okay, so tick the one about each student, whether they enjoyed it or not, and give your reasoning. Here we go.
Dan Ying.
I don't have a TV and I don't play video games, but I use my phone a lot. Yesterday, I didn't have my phone and I couldn't send texts to my friends, so I felt very lonely.
Marwan. I usually listen to music, text my friends, and read the news at the same time. But yesterday, I went outside and I walked for 2 hours. My head felt very clear. Erica.
I love the internet and I spend hours on it every day. During this experiment, I didn't know what to do. I didn't leave the house. I just stayed in the kitchen and made cups of tea. I wasn't happy because it was really boring.
Brandon.
I live with my friends, but we don't talk very much. Everyone just watches TV. But yesterday, we chatted and laughed all day. It was one of the best days of the year.
Okay, so now that we've listened to the audio twice, let's go over each speaker one by one. So, Danying, did she enjoy the experiment or did she not, and why? Danying did not enjoy the experiment, that's correct, and the reasoning was it was not because she didn't have her phone. That's not the main reason. We could be more specific. It was because she couldn't send texts to friends because she usually texts her friends a lot, and that she felt lonely. Let me actually put space here. So she couldn't send texts to friends and felt lonely. What about Marwan? Did he enjoy or did he not? He actually enjoyed it. And why did he enjoy it? Because he went outside and walked, which in turn made his head feel much clearer than it would otherwise be. So we can say something like, head felt clearer or clear. Now remember, you guys, it doesn't have to be the same word for word. If yours looks a little different, it's fine, as long as it has the same meaning. What about the third student, Erica? Did she enjoy or did she not? She did not. And why is that? Because she simply didn't know what to do. She just felt really bored. So, felt bored. And finally, Brandon. Brandon enjoyed his time. Why? Because when they all stopped watching TV, he and his friends or roommates chatted and ended up laughing and having a good time all day. So we can say something like, we chatted and laughed all day. Okay? Let's check. Here you go. So Danny, Marwan, Erica, Brandon didn't enjoy, enjoyed, didn't enjoy, enjoyed. And these are the reasons. All right. Now let's go to exercise 4. Oops. Let me reset this. Complete the sentences from exercise 3 with the words from the box. So these are words that we heard in the previous audio. What we're going to do is we're going to try and complete these sentences with the words from the box. So let's start with A. I dash video games, but I dash my phone a lot. Let's start with this one. I dash video games. If you guys remember, it was I don't play video games, but I dash my phone a lot. So if you don't do something, but here implies that something is going to be the opposite. So this will be use, but I use my phone a lot. B, I dash outside and I dash for 2 hours. I went outside and I walked for 2 hours. I dashed the house. I just stayed in the kitchen and made cups of tea. I believe this was the third speaker, I think, because she was bored. So third speaker, she didn't leave the house. So I didn't leave the house. I just stayed in the kitchen and made cups of tea. Wow, that's boring. D, I dash happy because it was really boring. Okay, so you're normally not happy when it's boring. So it'll be wasn't. I wasn't happy because it was really boring. E, I dash with my friends, but we dash very much. Oh, this is the fourth speaker. I live with my friends, but we don't talk very much. It dashed one of the best days of the year. It was one of the best days of the year. Okay? So these were the words for each sentence. All right. Let's go to 5. Actually, before we go to 5, let's take a look at the grammar here for a second. The past simple. Just a quick explanation. Basically, what is the past simple? The past simple is a tense, past tense, to describe actions or certain events that happened in the past, but not just in the past, you guys. It happened at a specific time in the past. This is important. So if I say something like last week, yesterday, 2001, 2004, 2 weeks ago, all of these are in the past, but they are, again, specific times in the past. Okay? These are some of the time expressions like I gave you. For example, let me give you an example here. We could say something like, he played football yesterday. He played football is in the past, but me adding yesterday is now past simple. Okay? She ran to work last week. She ran to work is in the past, something that happened, but we're being specific. When? Last week. We could also say something with verbs that are changed completely in the past. So something like eat becomes ate. We could say they ate dinner at 9 p.m. Again, 9 p.m. is the specific time in the past. Okay? So this is a brief introduction to the past simple. You can also look at some of the regular verbs here. Regular verbs are verbs that turn into ed when they're in the past. So we laughed a lot in class. I lived in London in 2012. Verb to be and irregular verbs. So is becomes was. And irregular verbs are, like we said, eat, ate, go, went. No, go, went is verb to be. So no, actually, verb to be is was, were, stuff like that, not went. So I went to university in the USA, and it was a nice day on Tuesday. Again, specific times in the past. These are some sentences in negative form. I wasn't happy this morning. And notice how I say wasn't. I don't say was not because there's an apostrophe here. And we'll talk about this in the upcoming pronunciation. I didn't have a job last year. Okay? Now let's take a look at 5. Use the verbs in the box to write 4 sentences in the past simple about yourself, 2 positive and 2 negative. I think you guys know what's coming. I'd like you to pause the video and use these words however you like, but I'd like you to use them to write 4 sentences in the past simple. So make sure you include a specific time in the past and write 2 sentences that are positive and 2 sentences that are negative. Okay? All right, so I'm going to assume that you've paused the video and you've written 4 sentences total, 2 positive, 2 negative. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write my own as well. You could compare, although they should not be the exact same, you guys, unless you get like extremely lucky. So let's go. I'm going to say something like, remember, again, I'm trying to use words from here. So I'll use the word buy. I'll put it in the past. So I bought a new t-shirt last week. This is a positive, and buy becomes bought, and last week, past simple. Okay? For a second sentence, I could say something like, I went to the beach for my vacation. Again, go becomes went to the beach for my vacation. What else? Let me actually put these. Oh, this will be in negative format. I did not eat breakfast this morning. I didn't. That's actually true. So this morning I did not eat breakfast. Again, it's in the past and morning, specific time. You get the gist. Let's write one more. I did not watch the movie last night. Again, that's true. I did not watch the movie. It got canceled. But you're not here for that. So for the positives, I bought a new t-shirt last week. I went to the beach for my vacation. I did not eat breakfast this morning. And I did not watch the movie last night. So these were my sentences. I hope you wrote yours as well. All right. Now let's go to exercise 7. Let's see. This will be 7, 8, and 9, I believe. Yes, okay. Think about yesterday and take turns to ask and answer the questions. Okay, so I'd like you to pause the video. This will be even better if you guys are in class. You could do this in pairs. If you're in pairs, I'd like you to pause the video now and go over some of these questions and ask each other and answer the questions. If you're at home watching this, that's completely fine too, but you're just going to be doing it on your own. So pause the video, answer the questions, and then come back to the video. Okay? So for me, think about yesterday and take turns to ask. And okay, what electronic media did you use and why did you use it? I used my phone and I used my computer. Why did I use it? I used my phone for navigation while driving and playing music and texting people. Not while driving. Be safe. And for my computer, I used it to watch a show, to record these videos for you guys and edit them. and watch YouTube. So, yeah. What electronic media didn't you use and why not? I did not use the TV because I just watched on my monitor instead. And I also did not use the radio that I have because I don't see the need to use my radio anymore. So these were my answers. Looks like we're going to be listening to an audio here. Let's see. Listen to two students discuss the questions in 7. Are their answers similar or different to yours? Okay, so I'm going to play this, and what I'd like you to do is hear the discussion between these two students and check and see if your answers were similar or different. I'll do the same as well. Let's play it.
So, did you use your phone yesterday?
Yes, I did. I used it all day.
Who did you ring?
I rang my friends Mehmet and Khalid, and I sent a lot of texts and emails. What about you? What did you do?
I did some research on the internet for my assignment.
Did you finish it?
No, the internet connection was really slow.
Were you at home?
No, I was in the library. There was a problem with the server.
Oh no.
Okay, so that was the audio. I'd say my answer was similar but not the same due to a little bit of a different reason for each one. For example, I used my phone for navigation, for texting people, for music. Others used it to call other people, things like that. But overall, yeah, I'd say pretty similar. Now let's go to 9. Listen again and complete the student's conversation. All right, so I'm going to play this one more time. And what I'd like you to do is focus on what is being said so that you can fill in the blanks for each one. So let me play it one more time.
So, did you use your phone yesterday?
Yes, I did. I used it all day.
Who did you ring?
I rang my friends Mehmet and Khalid, and I sent a lot of texts and emails. What about you? What did you do?
I did some research on the internet for my assignment.
Did you finish it?
No, the internet connection was really slow.
Were you at home?
No, I was in the library. There was a problem with the server.
Oh no.
All right, so now that we've listened to the audio twice, let's go over some of what was being said in the conversation. So, Dash, you used your phone yesterday. What do you guys think? That's right, it was did. So, did you use your phone yesterday? Yes, I did. I dash it all day. I used it all day. Did you ring? Who did you ring? Or who did you call? Both mean the same thing. I rang my friends Mehmet and Khalid. What did you dash? What did you do? I dashed some research on the internet for my assignment. I did, because remember, talking about something that's in the past, I did some research on the internet for my assignment. Did you dash it? Did you finish it? No, the internet connection really slow. Was really slow. Dash you at home? No, I dash in the library. So were you at home? No, I was in the library. Verb to be in both the question and the answer. Okay, so this was exercise line. Exercise 9. We just completed the conversation. All right. Let's take a look at the pronunciation here. How do we pronounce the N apostrophe T in wasn't and didn't? How do we pronounce doesn't and don't? Well, I suppose I just said it, but I'm gonna play the video and I want you to listen to how it is pronounced. And what I'd like you to do is say it loudly wherever you are, whether you're in class or at home on your own. Say the words loudly so that you can master the pronunciation as we go. Here we go.
Wasn't. Didn't. Doesn't. Don't.
All right. So now that we're done with the pronunciation, let's go to exercise 10. See what we have here. Okay. Put the words in the correct order to make questions. Write 2 more questions about communication. I don't want you to look at the answers. I'd like you to pause the video and do this exercise or assignment on your own. It's quite simple. And then come and check your answers. I'd like you to write your own questions about communication. So after you're finished with these, you're supposed to write 2 more questions. I'd like you to write your own, and then I'll be writing my own 2 questions after we're done with this as well. So pause the video and do that. All right, so we have you discuss yesterday did your assignment. We'll start with did, and then you discuss your assignment yesterday. Again, did you finish your research last week? Was expensive first phone yours? We'll say, was your first phone expensive? Have you a good internet connection did last weekend? Again, we'll start with did. You have a good internet connection last weekend. Yesterday, your teacher talked to did. We'll start with did. You talk to your teacher yesterday. Busy were last week you. We'll start with were you busy last week. Okay, so these are all the questions. Now let's write 2 more, and these are supposed to be about communication. So we could say something like, remember, we want to write questions. So I'll say something like, actually, I remember it's written right here because I did write it before deleting it. So, were you talking on the phone last night? I believe it's the same, right? It is the same. And then I'll put a question mark. Were you talking on the phone last night? And one more would be something like, did you get my phone call yesterday? Again, that's another question. So, were you talking on the phone last night? And did you get my phone call yesterday? Ask and answer the questions in 10. Give more information with your answers. For exercise 11, this will be best done if you guys are in pairs. What you could do is pretend you are someone that is currently studying or has what each question is asking. So, for example, an assignment or research or your first phone being expensive. And I'd like you to ask the other person a question, and the other person will reply, and then vice versa. Okay? So let me give you an example for that. Did you discuss your assignment yesterday? Yes, I did, but it was really difficult. Something like that. Did you finish your research last week? No, I didn't, but I'm currently working on it. Things like that. Okay? I think that's it, I believe. Yeah, that's it. So thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you learned something new. Be on the lookout for 1C soon, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.